cheering on the Jamaican Olympic team. Jamaica Sport Exhibition mounted and remaining committed to the protection of marine resources. This is Jamaica House Weekly. I am Samantha Allen. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller is back on the island following last week's trip to support the Jamaican contingent at the 30th Olympiad in London. Mrs. Simpson Miller attended the Games opening ceremony. She also visited with the Jamaican athletes and participated in a flag-raising ceremony at the Olympic Village. Mrs. Simpson Miller has said that the 2012 Olympics is particularly special for Jamaicans as it comes in the country's 50th year of independence and is being hosted in London, where Jamaica first participated in the Olympic Games in 1948. And the focus on sport continued at home with the launch of the Jamaica Sports Exhibition at Jamaica House. Speaking at last week's launch, the minister responsible for sports said the National Sport Museum would function as a record for future generations and a benchmark for present endeavors. Minister Nita Headley said throughout Jamaica's 50 years of independence, there had not been efficient and adequate recording and safeguarding of the country's rich sporting history.
I am pleased that going forward, the Jamaica Sport Museum will fill this void as part of its mandate. We have a rich legacy in the area of sport, of which more of our people must be made aware. It is for no other reason sport is the most powerful uniting force, a catalyst for peace in our communities, and a builder of discipline and character. Sport occupies pride of place in the national psyche and at the international level. And it is, in this case, now at the Olympics, a major contributor to the vibrancy and potency of brand Jamaica.
Mrs. Nita Headley also urged Jamaicans to view the exhibition, dubbed Showcasing the Journey, which will be mounted on the mezzanine of the National Arena daily from 12 noon to 8 p.m. On Independence Day, August 6, the exhibit will be open from 12 to 4 p.m. There will be no charge to view the exhibit, which is open to the public. A reflective Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller addressed the Jamaica 50 National Thanksgiving Service, urging the nation to remember the work and message of our forefathers.
As we celebrate our Golden Jubilee, let us commit to making sure that every child we encounter feels valued. Every worker we interact with feels respected, and every elderly person in our life feels secure. Every person with disability will feel loved and secure.
The service held Sunday at the Holy Trinity Cathedral in Kingston brought together people from all walks of society. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller has affirmed Jamaica's commitment to fulfilling the obligations of the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Mrs. Simpson Miller says the 1982 convention has done much to level the playing field by allowing each country to sustainably exploit the resources of the world's oceans.
The convention's emphasis on the maritime environment and natural resource conservation is also of major importance to us in the Caribbean. The protection of the fragile marine resources upon which we depend for tourism, fishing, and transportation is in large part dependent on the provisions of this convention.
The Prime Minister was speaking in Kingston at the special session of the International Seabed Authority to mark the 30th anniversary of the convention's opening for signing. China Communications Construction Company (CCCC) has been given the green light to explore infrastructure development opportunities in Jamaica. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller has signed a 2-year cooperation agreement with the CCCC.
All projects to be implemented under this agreement must also first be approved by the Cabinet and the relevant government authorities.
CCCC is the state-owned parent company of China Harbour Engineering Company. The agreement paves the way for the company to identify and propose projects for the modernization, enhancement and development of Jamaica's infrastructure. These are to include the construction of roads, bridges, ports, waterways, shipping facilities, light railway systems, hotels, housing, education and recreational facilities. And that's where we leave you for this week's edition of Jamaica House Weekly. Join us next time for the latest happenings out of the office of the Prime Minister.